Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and we're going to be talking about Mr. MAGA Country himself, Jussie Smollett, and how I never, ever thought I would be defending this embarrassment, this meme, this joke of a human being on anything, but that's the problem. You see, Jussie here is pretty notorious. And everybody knows he did a bad thing. And he hoaxed a bad thing. And there's a lot. I mean, a lot of evidence for that, right? But now, a judge has ruled this. Jussie Smollett investigation. Judge orders Google to turn over a full year of the actor's data as part of special prosecutor probe. Now, guys, we have so much evidence outside of his Google data. They don't need it, but they're going to get it. And it's going to set a precedent where they're going to be able to get all of everybody's data in court cases going forward. And here's the thing. Most people will say, well, if you're not doing anything wrong, it doesn't matter. But your Google data is a lot more vast than you could possibly imagine. So even this case in of itself is kind of a double-edged sword. Because one, we know the guy's guilty, right? We know they don't need this. And they're pushing this forward as an agenda to normalize the track trace database culture of your phone. All the data gathered from your text messages, your phone calls, your web browsing searches, I would say your AdSense account if you had one. I mean, there's just so much that's involved. Your geolocations, that's going to be in there. That's going to be part of your Google data. And many more intricacies. For me, it will be interesting to see how much of that is turned over. Let's read through this. And this is breaking within the last couple of hours. A Cook County judge has ordered Google to turn over Jussie Smollett's emails, photos, location data, like I just told you, and private messages for an entire year as part of the special prosecutor's investigation into the purported attack on the actor. 2 sweeping search warrants obtained by the Chicago Tribune provide the first public glimpse at the direction of the probe by special prosecutor Dan Webb more than 4 months into the investigation. Excuse me. The warrants filed last month in circuit court sought a trove of documentation from Smollett and his manager's Google accounts, not just emails, but also drafted and deleted messages, any files in their Google Drive cloud storage services, and Google voice text calls and contacts, search and web browsing history, and location data. Let's talk. Let's have a chat, guys. Thumbs this video up. Join the Burmis Brigade if you're new. Think about that for a moment. We already know that our civil liberties in this country have been completely and totally eviscerated before our eyes over the last almost 2 decades since 9/11. It's only getting worse. We're in 2020, right? We're in 2020, and progressively, speech is being taken away. Censorship is being normalized. The fact that you have something like this with all that data is not only okay, it's accessible in a court of law. Let's just go back to a place called 2000. Not 2001, 2000. The vast majority of us did not have cell phones. It was just becoming a thing. And in order to legally get all of your messages between human beings and even emails, first of all, you would have to tap a phone because they're supposedly not recorded. They were being recorded by the NSA, but since that's a secret program, you just can't bring that up in a county prosecutor's office. Now in society, not only are your phone calls recorded, but that microphone's on a lot, when, if not all the time, when you're not using it as a phone. Okay? It's called ACR, Automated Content Recognition. And I've done many a story on this. All right? So now, let's fast forward. Right now, they're asking for that. But let's fast forward to 2025, 2030, when it's accepted that ACR is out there and all of your conversations are, in fact, all around you, always recorded. Well, then they're not just going to want your Google information. They'll want your friends' and family's information, and they'll be privy to not only what I think is an absurd amount of information anyway, with all your emails, your contact list, your web browsing history, and all that, but the people around you that surround you. And you can only imagine how much more detail and minutia is going to be garnered by these so-called smart devices in the future. Okay? I mean, I want this to sink in for people. Investigators sought a full year's of data from November 2018 to November 2019, even though the key events in the controversy took place between late January and late March. That should be alarming. All of this is bad. Listen, this is a slam fucking dunk case without this. And here's the other problem. There's always just going to be selective enforcement when they use these type of tools. You have to understand that. I mean, I want to reiterate it again. It's not just the emails, the photos, the web browsing, the calls, the SMS messages. It's the stuff you thought about writing and putting out there and then deleted. They're basically asking, and I mean the location data, every keystroke, every piece of information they can take from this device. And most people won't blink an eye because this guy has been vilified, and rightfully so, on television, on the magic box. They've seen him 100,000 times over in their Instagram feed as a joke, as a meme, as a bad guy. So yeah, get his data without even thinking of what the future implications are. And fast forward to a society that again has been normalized in this transhumanist movement where it's no longer just this device, but it's those fashionable Neuralink devices that Elon Musk introduced us to. And now they have access to your actual brainwaves. Talk about controlling a narrative. Talk about literally being to internally brainwash the minds of men. That's why I always push people towards Aaron and Melissa Dykes to their documentary, The Minds of Men, on mind control and how a lot of this stuff is out there. And it is involved in this technopoly. Technology is making it more and more ever-presently available and utilized by that predator class that doesn't give a fuck whether you're a liberal or a conservative or a Republican or a Democrat. They don't care if you're Jussie Smollett or you're Sully the hero pilot. They want all of your information. And it should scare the hell out of you that a judge made this ruling and it has gone through. This is the Track Trace Database Society I've been telling you about, guys. In closing, I'd like you to thumbs this video up. If you're new to the Berms Brigade, now's the time to jump on board. We're trying to hit that 40,000 subscriber mark. We talk about the truth here. You know, a plethora of issues. We like to think that we're at the forefront of the Epstein issue, of the Conor McGregor rape issue, especially if you don't know about that one. We don't want him to fight in 10 days. We'd rather not see Disney, WME Entertainment, the UFC, ESPN make, $500 million to $1 billion on the back of a violent rapist. Don't take my word for it, okay? We'll get to the Conor McGregor thing in first, but if you want to learn about geopolitics, you want to learn about the deep state, parapolitics, the things that you hear so much about as conspiracy theory, well, I got factual information for you right behind me, free of charge, in my documentary playlist, Loose Change Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, essential to understand why all of our foreign and domestic policy since 9/11 is based on a thorough lie, on an international intelligence operation that helped shape the world. And that world and where it's going and where it has been is really chiseled out, in my opinion, in Invisible Empire and New World Order Defined and Shade the Motion Picture. So definitely check them out. Please go check out this thread right here at the top of my Twitter. It proves beyond a reasonable doubt. There is a plethora of evidence out there that Conor McGregor brutally beat and raped a woman in front of eyewitnesses over a year ago in Dublin. It's not only the only rape investigation that's open he's involved in right now. It wasn't the first one before that. It's really sad and it's really sick. And it shows that the media, the mainstream media in this country, they're not touching it. Guess who else isn't touching it? The alternative media. Where's Tomorrow's News Today? Where are they? Where are they? I tried to give them this story literally almost a year ago. No one wants to touch it. It's really sad. If you want to financially support me, hey, we got a GoFundMe. It's been a slow day on the GoFundMe. We'd really love to hit that $5,000 mark again. I'm trying to grow this thing. I'm not trying to be a millionaire. I'm not trying to eat at, exotic steakhouses and rock gold chains everywhere. Shirts like this, I get online on Mercari for $10. I'm a budget guy, guys. I'm trying to raise a family, tell the truth, and do what I love. And it's only through your financial support that I can do it. So consider $5, $10, $15 today over at the GoFundMe. I absolutely love you guys, and I'll see you on the flip side.